Ever since Fall Guys launched 2 years ago, I've been trying to win a solo match without jumping. So I started a live stream and decided that I wouldn't stop playing until I beat this challenge once and for all. This is my first attempt. A challenge like no jumping will impact me on every level. So in my first round, DoorDash, I have to dive through every doorway, which slows me down significantly. The timing on these dives is relatively strict, especially if there's other people trying to fit through. Let me through. Okay. I qualified with about 3 seconds to spare, but if I got stuck in one of these doorways, I would already be eliminated. Freezy Peak doesn't seem too intimidating at first until you get to this section. There's a series of ledges here that are too steep to dive over, but if you look closely, there's a slope to our right that we can use to our advantage. So you use this ramp, and you dive up the side. Eventually. When I combine the momentum of my dive with the right angle on this slope, I can get over it. Ironically, Jump Club is one of the easier levels for this challenge. The beam is low enough for me to dive over without getting hit. However, this gets a bit dicey when other people are around me. I need to separate myself from the crowd and limit the amount of times I have to dive, so I run clockwise with the beam until I have enough space. I drew Volley Fall for round 4, one of the most difficult levels. There's several ways that no jumping impacts my ability to hit the ball, like the timing becoming more strict. If my reaction time is off by even 1/10 of a second, the ball doesn't get enough vertical momentum to go over the net. I also have to commit to whichever angle I'm hitting the ball at instead of adjusting it shortly before. Although it becomes more difficult to play defense, I can use the forward momentum from diving to catch my opponent off guard and hit the ball behind them. However, they can also do the same thing to me since I can't jump to stop a ball that goes inches over my head. Thankfully, my opponent was willing to do some of the work for me and score on themselves a few times. A decisive victory takes me to the final on my first attempt. We're going to the final, baby! On the first try! This is where not jumping really hurts my chances to win. I designed most of my challenges to be really hard in the first few rounds, then easier in the finals so I can finish the job. But when I need to overcome 1 in 7 odds with a significant handicap, there's a lot of frustratingly close attempts where I lose in the final. In order to control my speed without jumping, I go side to side on the ring instead of forward. Then, as the ring speeds up, I adjust my angle to go more forward and less sideways. The one major problem with this level is that if I fall down to the yellow or red layer, diving is my only way to get back up. However, I can't run shortly after I dive, so I end up falling back down to the same level, unless my diving angle is perfect. I survived until it was just me and one other guy, but I got snagged on these yellow tiles and fell to my demise. It took me a minute, but this was my reaction. I'm gonna cry. We're gonna be here for a while. It was all downhill after this first attempt. The beam on big fans is too large to dive over, so I have to avoid it entirely. In the last section, I was so close to making it until the beam caught up to me. Aw, that hurts. I had a fantastic run on Slime Climb until this happened. We should be okay.
Nope.
Oh! That's not good. Hit this dive, please. If I get matched against a cracked opponent on Volley Fall, like this one who completed the Battle Pass, it usually ends my run. Yikes. We gotta get one more. Yeah, that's an L. It wasn't until my 5th attempt that I began to regain momentum. I dodged all the paintballs and made it to the next part without any hiccups. The problem is this part, where I need to count on other people to get me over the platform. Oh, that's not good. There's a circular seesaw here, so if people are jumping on the close side, I can use the far side to gain enough altitude. On DoorDash, everyone was trying to squeeze through the same path. Oh, we got stuck a little. So next time, I saw someone test the 2 doors on the right. This means I can use the other correct door instead of getting stuck again. This actually made the difference that allowed me to qualify. Let me in. Okay. That one's always so close. Keeping track of 2 snowballs and predicting how they'll bounce off each other is a tall order, but it's rewarding if you survive. The key is to know when it's coming from the wall behind you. Good. Not good. Not good. Unfortunately, my purple friend didn't have the same foresight. After I qualified, this took us from 29 all the way down to 12 players. The main problem on Tiptoe is timing this precise dive at the end, especially when other people can grab you or bump into you. I have to be on the very edge of this tile to make it across. Nice. That's final time. I'm in the finals once again, this time on thin ice. All of the finals are doable, but I'm held back significantly if I can't jump. Once we're on the last layer, I try to separate myself by cutting through the center, but 4 guys started running towards me, so I had to double back. I was able to make this dive, but my fatal error was skipping all the tiles around me and running back towards everyone. That wasted the extra time I would have needed to win here. There were too many people in that section. We just needed 3 more seconds. Every time I lost, it only strengthened my resolve. Like when I used sheer willpower to prevent myself from falling. Ooh! I willpowered myself up there. That round of slime climb took us from 40 players down to 9. Oh my. Are we there again? So I had another shot at Hexaring. I got trapped here and almost managed to save myself. We actually want there to be less blue tiles overall, and we want that to not happen. Ooh, until I foolishly tried to dive up to the top layer. Like I said, the finals are all doable, but one mistake kills you. Lost Temple is interesting, because the people in front of me will get slowed down if they pick the wrong door. This is one of the better finals for the challenge, but sometimes there's 2 paths that split off from each other completely. I think we ended up splitting off here. So even though I was leading my group, the other group got there faster. Oh wow, there was another path. I struggled a bit more after this. Some variants of Block Party actually forced me to jump. Almost died there. It's not gonna let me up. Okay, so eventually it makes you jump. Perfect Mash decided to get revenge on me for when I called it boring in my other video. Oh, I just realized we have a problem. I actually kept up with the spinner for a while, but I got blocked and lost the momentum I needed to continue diving. Move! Move! My last fail was actually an important learning experience. This part, I actually just realized might be a problem without jumping, and oh my goodness! I learned that the path on the right wasn't possible there, and that there's a gap on the second beam. You'll see why this is important. I didn't realize there's a gap. It's time for the successful attempt. A key factor in this one takes place before the first round begins. I managed to queue up in a match that only had 42 players, which is very lucky since the minimum is 40. I also forgot to update the attempt counter before this, so it should say 13 after this round. After getting sufficiently bumped around, I made it back to the section I struggled on. I don't like that. Ugh, okay. I made it across the gap, but got blown off by the fan. But since I also fell last time, I was able to recover more quickly. People are already qualifying as I'm still in the water here, so the clock is ticking. The big frog prevented me from diving completely over, so I ran counterclockwise with this platform and made it at the last second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was close. Next up is Fruit Shoot, except there's sports balls getting launched at us instead of fruit. I was very fortunate to slide under the balls here, thanks to other guys getting hit by them. It's worth noting that if you bounce off this pink wall here, it kinda looks like you jumped, but I didn't actually press the jump button here. If I did, I would have gone higher into the air, so I figured I should clear that up before round 3. Big Shots is very deceptive, in that you can mostly just stand still and do nothing, but sometimes it will throw a curveball at you like this. Saturn? I wish I was not getting planets hurled at me right now. Later on, other people started to gather around me. I didn't think this was a problem until I realized I was unable to move. I took that controller right to the face, but the guys around me actually saved me from going anywhere. I had one more close call where someone decided it was the perfect time to grab me. Ooh! We actually timed out the round here and only lost 6 players instead of 7. Round 4 is Bounce Party, which should be an ideal round for no jumping, since the bounce pads do the work for me. But there was one problem. Oh, I got blocked. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. Other people in my way! Unfortunately, depth perception failed me here, as I missed an easy gold ring. After that, I got blocked yet again, and fell all the way down to the bottom. Bro, other people! Oh, that's not good. And then again. I get blocked again! I got up to 12 points, then missed this gold hoop by inches. When I went for the 2 blues instead, guess what happened? Other people keep blocking me! I need 1 more point, so I moved up as far as possible and secured it just in time. Oh! With that, it's time for the final round. I've been attempting the challenge for almost 2 hours at this point, and if I don't get it done here, then who knows how long it would take to get another chance. I need to finish this here and now. The first thing I noticed is that the players here are confident and aggressive enough to grab each other at the beginning. Lots of grabbers here. This is gonna get super dicey. The hope is that they'll mess with each other instead of me. Not jumping heavily restricts my movement here. It makes it harder to recover from grabs, but the main factor is that I can't jump preemptively and wait for the other side to come to me. I also can't jump between gaps on the same side. I need a direct pathway from one side to the other, which requires more precise timing as the platforms speed up. 3 players got eliminated early, but the rest stuck around for a really long time. I had to get my timing and angle just right here when I was released from a grab. I almost ran off the edge here, but caught myself just in time. It's been about 2 minutes now, and 6 of us still remain. The platforms are moving fast enough now that they've mostly stopped grabbing each other. I bumped into this pillar and fell over, but I ran at just the right angle to stay alive. With the platforms almost completely submerged, I finally got to a 1v1. Even now, this guy still had the guts to keep grabbing me, but that would be their downfall. We did it! We did it! Determination! Join my Discord server if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.